What is going on in the 5th District? Another federal probe touches the campaigns for Congress. And lawmakers passed the medical marijuana bill. Now there's a long list of questions about how to give it out, to whom, when, where. We'll talk with a doctor who says he has a safe solution already being used across the country. And the USDA dedicates millions every year to help feed kids in the summer, but not enough for eating. Why not, and what to do about it, coming up. Hi, you're watching The Real Story. I'm Lori Perez. We could not have a show this week without talking about another dark cloud moving over Connecticut's 5th District race for Congress, this time on the Republican side, this time involving former Connecticut Governor John Rowland. Politicos and pundits are reeling. Let's start at the top with a review of the grand jury investigation. Current columnist Kevin Rennie broke the news that the former governor, who spent time in jail for corruption, is now at least a part of another federal probe. It appears to involve Rowland's work on Republican candidate Lisa Wilson Foley's congressional campaign at the same time that John Rowland was a paid consultant for her family's nursing facilities group.
Welcome back.
Former Governor John Rowland finished up hours talking on his radio show, but had nothing to say to us outside the studio, telling me the radio bosses don't want him to comment. Political commentators, like current columnist Kevin Rennie, though,
it never stops. It just never stops.
Are buzzing over news of the federal grand jury investigation. Rennie reports the probe started in April, shortly after it was revealed that Rowland was volunteering on Lisa Wilson Foley's congressional campaign at the same time that her husband, Brian Foley, was paying him $5 grand a month as a consultant for the family's chain of rehab and nursing centers. Mr. Foley confirmed today federal agents contacted him more than a month ago asking about the Rowland contract. It is a crime to use a straw man to pay for campaign services.
From the first time I wrote that John Rowland was helping Lisa Wilson Foley, I really believed there has to be more to it, because I don't think he does things for free.
Another 5th District Republican candidate, Mark Greenberg, confirmed today that federal agents also recently contacted him as a factual witness and that he provided the requested information. The campaign also confirmed that Greenberg is not in any way a target. Greenberg claims Rowland came to him in 2010, proposing that he could volunteer on his campaign and that Greenberg could pay him through his animal shelter charity. The governor has denied it. Lisa Wilson Foley's campaign had no comment on the grand jury investigation today, but Rennie thinks this spells doom. In an eerily similar way, news of an FBI probe into Democrat Chris Donovan's campaign and the arrest of his finance director is distracting his race for Congress.
I think Republicans are going to be very reluctant to throw away an opportunity to win an open congressional seat by nominating Lisa Wilson Foley at the same time that the Democratic one-time frontrunner Christopher Donovan is under the same kind of cloud.
Republican congressional candidate Lisa Wilson Foley says she's campaigning as usual, despite the federal inquiry into Rowland's ties to her husband's business. She also called the inquiry a distraction. Wilson Foley says her campaign is not involved in the investigation. And that's not all. An official from the Federal Communications Commission says they will not investigate a complaint there against John Rowland. Activist Ken Krajewski filed the complaint against Rowland in April because of Rowland's work on Wilson Foley's campaign while he continued to host his radio show. Rowland no longer works for the campaign. It is a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. We will be dissecting it all in the weeks and the months to come. Coming up next, you've probably heard about the medical marijuana vending machine set up in Hartford. We talked to the doctor who says it is the right fit for Connecticut's new law.